Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here and you're a returning subscriber, I welcome you all to my channel. Today we are going to be making a circle dress, so please consider to watch this video to the end. Also subscribe, like and share this video. So I have 3 yards of this flowered crepe fabric here. Now this side here, you can see the side that has the like a selvage. This is the width of the of this fabric. Since I'm using 3 yards of fabric, okay, so this side is where I have the 3 yards of fabric, while this side is the length of the fabric, and the length of this fabric is by 60. So this side here is the length of the fabric. Now to fold here, I'm going to bring the selvage, the part that has the selvage here. Okay, I'm going to bring it together. I'm going to fold it into 2. So I have just folded this into 2. Now this side, this selvage side that I folded into 2, okay, so I'm going to bring it together now. I'm just trying to fold it equally. So you can see now this is the side with the selvage which I have folded together. Now I'm going to bring the edge here, and this side, it will meet up with this folded part which is the length of this fabric. Okay, so I'll bring it together like this to form a triangle. So this is it, it's going to form a triangle, and this is what it should look like. So what I'm going to do next is to determine where the shoulder line is. So the shoulder line I'm working with is 8 inches. So I'm going to mark where I have 8 inches. So this is where I have 8 inches. So I'm going to mark 8 inches here. Okay. So after marking, ensure that what you have from here to here is the same thing as what you have from here to here. Just ensure it's equal. So this is the mark I have here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to determine the chest line. Okay, so the chest line I'm working with is 8 inches. Because I'm going to be taking off 1 inches from the shoulder as the shoulder slope, so I'm going to make it 9 inches. Okay, so that's so this is the chest line of 9 inches. Can see. So from there I'm going to take the bust measurement. The bust measurements, the quarter of the bust is 10 inches plus 1 inch for seam allowance. I have 11 inches. So this is where the 11 inches mark is going to be. So the shoulder to shoulder measurement is 8 inches, which is what I have here, and I'm going to connect it to this side. I'm also going to mark the 8 inches line here. And I'm going to connect it from here to here. You can see what I'm doing. So this is how you are going to connect. Then I'm going to take the shoulder slope of 1 inch. Shoulder slope of 1 inch. And the neck width of 3 inches. This is a 3 inches neck width. And neck depth, I'm going to be cutting the back neck first. And I'll use 1.5. Okay, 1.5, half an inch. I'm going to be joining by half an inch, and I'll be left with 1 inch. So that's why I'm using 1.5. So for the front, I'll be using 3.5. So once I join the shoulder by half an inch, I'll be left with 3 inches. Just 3 inches here. 3 inches here and 3 inches here. So I'm going to connect the neck, the back neck first. I'm going to connect the back neck first and then the front neck. So this here is going to have a collar at the neck area. I'm going to be inserting a collar there. So I'm going to take the shoulder slope now. Sorry, this fabric is shifting. So I hope you understand what I did around here. Now I'm going to determine the middle point of this shoulder line here. The middle point, and I have 4 inches. So the middle point is 4 inches. For the back, I'll go in by half an inch. For the front, I'll go in by half an inch. But for the back, you are not going in by half an inch. So like this, you can come out by 1 inch and then connect back to the armhole. So I'm just going to connect this now. And this will serve as the front armhole. And I'm also going to connect this back here, while the back is just going to be like so. Back is going to be like this. So I hope we understand what I did here. Now, because of the nature of the style I'm working with, I'll go in by 1 inch because it is going to be a sleeveless gown. So I'll just go in by 1 inch at the shoulder line here, and I'll connect it back to this middle point here. So I'll connect it back to the middle point here. That's for the front, and for the back as well. I'm also going to connect to the back armhole too. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark out the length. Okay, so let me just cut this out for us to see first. Let me cut this out first. I'm not cutting the shoulder slope yet because I'm going to use this side to mark out the length of the dress. So the length of the dress I'm working with is 41 inches. Then I'll need half an inch to join the shoulder. That's 41 and a half. Then 1 inch for the hemming allowance. Then I have 42 and a half. So from this point now, I'm going to measure 42 and a half. So I'm done cutting. I'll also cut the shoulder line here. Okay, I'll cut the back neck first. So before I continue cutting, I'm just going to rule out this side. You know, this is the chest line here. So I'm just going to rule this mark now to this side. So I'll take the tape rule and place it like so. You can see how I'm placing it. So I'm going to take the mark like that. Cutting now. So I'll go ahead and cut the back armhole first. This now, and I'm going to remove the back from it so that I can cut the front neck and the back and the front armhole. So I'm going to cut the front armhole now and the neck as well. So I have just cut out the front armhole. So I'm going to cut the front neck, and before I do that, on the style, I'll come down by about 3 inches. I'll come down by 3 inches here. Okay, and then on this side I'll come in by about 1/4 of an inch. I'll come in by 1/4 of an inch, so by the time I join it together, it will extend to 1/2 an inch. So from there now I'll curve it. So from this 1/4 of an inch that I came in here, I came in by 1/4 of an inch here, so I'm going to curve it back to these 3 inches I came down from the neck depth. So I'm going to curve it back in. So this is what I have. So I'm going to cut it out. So I'll cut the front, the back, the front neck. I'm not cutting directly on the mark so that I can use that as seam allowance. Now I'm going to curve this in now. I'm going to start from here. So I'm done cutting, and this is what the front neck looks like. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going now, yeah, it's going to be band on the neck. Okay, I'm going to show you how it's going to look. Now on this slit here now, because this fabric is is very soft, so what I will do is I will iron the paper stay around here. I'm going to iron the paper stay around here just to keep it in place so that I can stand when the client is wearing it. So I'll go ahead now and cut the facing. So for the band, I have to join the shoulder together first before cutting the band. It is necessary that you join the shoulder together before you cut the band. So I'll go and do that. And okay, so I want to cut the collar now. So what I will do is I've joined the shoulder already, and what I have around there is 18 inches is what I have as the round neck. So half of 18 inches is 9 inches. So, and I added seam allowance. Okay, the seam allowance to stitch that place down. So now from here now, this mark I squared up is about 1.5 inch. So the height of the band is going to be 1.5 inch. So the height of the band is going to be 1.5. Okay, so what I will do is this folded part will be at the back and this open part will be at the front. So what I will do now is to mark, to determine the center. Okay, and the center is about, is this. This is the center. Now from here I'm going to square out the seam allowance. So from there now I'll go up by 1/2 inch. You can go up by 1 inch, you can go up by 1/2 inch. I'll just go up by 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect back from this center point here to this 1/2 inch. So what that means is around here now I'm going to retake the 1.5 inches. You know, I said that this band is going to be 1.5 inches, and I already take away 1/2 inch here. So I'm just going to measure the 1.5 again, and then I will add seam allowance 1/4 inch. That would now be 1/3 is what I will be marking up here. And I'm also going to put that 1/4 inch. I'm also going to add it here for seam allowance. So 1/4 inch. This lower part too, I'm going to add 1/4 inch for seam allowance. So at the corner of the upper part here, I'm just going to curve it from here like so, and then curve it back to this place. And when you are done curving, ensure you add back the seam allowance. So I'll go ahead now and cut. So by the time I take in the allowance, it's going to form back to what I want. Okay, so let me just curve it in a little. I just want to curve it in a little around here, just to make it curve a little here. Okay, so this is one piece, and I'm going to be needing two, so I will cut two of this, and then I'll iron visible interfacing on it so it can hold this in place. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.